Oh, I forgot to change the number. It's wrong. It says raising funds for world domination, day 188. I think it's 189, isn't it? I remembered to change that for the last 188 days, but today's my first day where I forgot. I guess that's also because I changed the monetization. I think for the last, 100 or so streams, I've had monetization off because you have to like pledge that the content doesn't contain, such and such content, but I can't guarantee that. But I guess I went to turn it on, and they have this like monetization automation thing. So I guess now it'll, based on, I didn't have to pledge anything, so. Yeah, I think that's wrong. I think it's 189, isn't it? I'll have to update it. Yeah, but I missed this one. Okay, let me fix that. All right, there we go. Fixed. So it's time for the daily update. Yeah, so I guess more than a couple of weeks ago now, we got the verdict on the rent eviction situation. So we won the case. Word on the street is they're going to try to appeal the ruling, but I've not heard any official notice on that yet. And I think they have like 30 days or something. So if they don't officially appeal it by mid-November, then that's it. We won. In terms of the store, there's been no activity on the store at all. No sales, no updates. There's still a sale on 2 different block dedications if you want those. As for the marketing video, or the videos on marketing, so editing, let's say we're at 96%, and I rendered and uploaded a part 2 today. So there's one third left. I just need to do like another pass in the editing, because sometimes I realize there's editing errors and forgot to say something or whatever. But I'm pretty close to having all that done. So then there'll be 2 more videos in the queue coming out. And the marketing one is that I released yesterday. It's getting a couple views. It's still kind of low compared to the trend. Orthoplex 64, how's it going? Giordani says hello. What are you doing? Today I'm doing right now I'm doing the status update, daily status update. That's basically all there is for today. That I got to the part 2 of the marketing videos rendered and uploaded. It's not 100% regular release. I think I have to make another thumbnail. Other than that, it is time to work on the block mining simulation game. So I pushed the in progress change now. So I'm getting closer to having that fancy, amazing list working. I think it was close to having it finished like twice, and then I basically ended up doing a bunch of refactoring because I realized there's issues with the model I was using. So the next thing will be to display the second scroll bar. Thanks for the hearts. That's a lot of them. Dolan Merville says, good evening. How's it going? So once again, that I mentioned at the intro, I've turned on monetization again. I turned it on. I guess this must be like a new like monetization method. But before they had like where you had to pledge something about the you have to like fill this thing out. Sounds like this contains no sensitive conversation, no sensitive events, no violence, no swearing. But I can't guarantee that, so that's why I had it off. But I guess they have like an auto monetization, and I think I'm actually starting to think. I think that doing 100 live streams with monetization off is actually starting to hurt the channel. So I'm gonna have to turn it back on. But if you guys experience ads, and if they're really awful, let me know. Sucks they make you play those games. There'll probably be ads for useless AI crypto. Yeah, I guess it'll be presumably it should be based on your own preferences and interests, but you can always use ad blocker. Yeah, I guess it's also I don't know, I was actually almost thinking like I need to double down on trying to increase monetization in all forms. I was thinking of maybe doing I think I can turn it to members only chat. So that could maybe also be a good moderation thing. And like at this, if I reflect on the last like 50 days of streaming, it's not like worthwhile. It's not worth the time. There are some benefits that I didn't really think about though. Like I actually learn things from talking to the chat when people will say like, "Hey, why are you doing this? Why don't you do this thing?" And I'm like, I never heard of that. That's a good idea. And actually, it's kind of a good way to get news, because people will come into the chat and be like, "Hey, did you hear this thing happened?" Has any company reached out for branded content? Would you? I probably wouldn't. Just because I've heard a lot of bad things about sponsors, that it can be like more work. It can be more of a burden than it's worth. And a lot of them are like, it seems like the ones that pay the most are the most scammy. But actually, to be fair, well, like I should say, in my inbox, I get maybe like 10 emails a day for like, sponsored things. But they're the most low quality. They're just like these vague things about like, hey, Robert Elders, we think you're a great match for this thing about technology. Would you like to join our program for like sponsored things? But it's written generically. It's just a mass spam thing. Like there's no specific relationship to anything I do. And I get like maybe 10 of those a day, and they're like, none of them are brands I've ever heard of or recognized. They're not even for specific things. They're just like, I think like generic middlemen that are trying to get you into some, I don't know, sponsorship pipeline or something. But yeah, like the major brands, actually NordVPN reached out to me about sponsored blog posts many years ago, and that was the first time I think that was the only time I've ever had like a recognized brand reach out to me. I think the better thing is like if I do a sponsorship, if the sponsorship is worth anything for the sponsor, it's making money for the sponsor. But I think my whole point in building this was to, advertise and promote my own products. So I figure it makes sense for me to just get better instead of taking sponsorships. do everything I do around making money off of my own stuff and just like pitch my own products. And if my products don't sell, then I need better products. You can create a Discord only for member. Yeah, I guess I do have. I have a Discord. I don't know. Honestly, the idea of moderating the Discord is, I guess, if it's members only, then yeah, I don't know. I guess I do have a Discord that's like locked down. I could make it. Yeah, I'd have to think about that, or how exactly I distribute that. I don't know. So there already is a Discord that another subscriber created, and there's really not much activity there. Chat is turning into a nice community. It's kind of an old school feel. Try to find a more time efficient way to build on that. Yeah, when I see people in chat talking to each other, that's, in my view, it's a good sign of, actually being able to create something that is, mutually beneficial to some other people as opposed to just me. I think that's going to be one of the more valuable things in the future. In the future dystopian world that we live in, is being a part of some community. How do you think your life would be different if you were born younger? What, born Robert Younger? How to be different? I don't know. That's a hard question to answer. Depends. It depends what you mean by later, or like if I was younger today. I don't know. It's too philosophical to answer. Nightly campfire vibe is really pleasant. Sometimes it's distracting, but generally great for me as a solo developer. I hope there's a way to monetize it. I would hate to see it go. Yeah, we'll see. I think I'll do, I don't know, I'll probably continue this until around Christmas or so. We'll see how it changes. Like I noticed when I did the walking around stream, I monetized that one because the chat's not in the thing, and I didn't expect there to be any, controversial content. So it really does seem like that just having that monetization flag really does change a bunch of things. So we'll see if this, I don't know, it may not get many concurrent viewers, but after it, I think it tries to push out the VOD a little bit more, which makes sense, I guess, because otherwise YouTube is just hosting all these archived live streams that no one watches. Best way to grow in tech is to create drama. I don't know. The best way to grow on in like the streaming world is to create drama and be involved in drama. I'm not sure about necessarily in tech though. It's also it's like a multivariate optimization problem. So to get lots of attention and grow on like streaming platforms, you can do like ridiculous things that are controversial and nonsensical, create drama, things that are illegal, but that'll like maximize the distinct number of viewers. But there's a point where like you get more viewers, but you lose better viewers. So ultimately, I think it makes sense to have some purpose that you pursue, regardless of how many views it gets or not. Why were you so hesitant to enable monetization? Does YouTube actually penalize you if any kind of distasteful content is detected? Can't imagine this kind of thing is moderated too closely. I think it's moderated, so it's monitored very closely. Like I think for certain types of content, like if you show like for example nudity, I'm pretty sure if you just like showed that, there's like algorithms that would just like shut it down, or like copyrighted content, you'll just get auto shut down. The reason I turned it off was because when you turn on monetization, you have to, if you click on, there's a thing that comes up that says like, please rate your content. Does it contain swearing? And there's like 3 different options. It's like, doesn't contain discussion of sensitive issues, and you gotta click the thing. And if you specify what it's supposed to have, like if I say, oh, this is totally fine, it doesn't have all this stuff, then if you're wrong, then YouTube will learn that your self-rating of your content is wrong, and so it would penalize me for when I make videos. And I do the same. I have to do the same thing when I make a video to say like this doesn't contain violence or whatever. And that could so if something stupid on the live stream gets me it would come up and say like your rating accuracy is low, and then that would affect the monetization of all videos, subsequent videos that I upload. So now because the ad revenue, at least what I got so far, is basically it's close to zero, I decided it maybe made sense for growth to just not have ads at all. Because if I'm going to get like 5 cents from a live stream, there's no point in trying to get 5 cents from a live stream when I can just have no ads, and then people watching the stream have a more pleasant experience, or like they won't bounce as much. That was my logic. Having said that, I don't know if this existed before, but actually tonight when I enabled monetization, I was thinking about I was actually just going to maybe see what would happen if I did a live stream where I rate the content with the most pessimistic thing possible, saying like it contains all these sensitive issues and stuff. But I didn't have to do that, so it went on. Actually, I'll check back. I guess that's one good thing about having the UI in all of them. I can go back and see when that ads automator thing showed up. Because for that I didn't have to pledge anything. So my guess is maybe it's like a new feature where it'll just automatically figure out if the content is acceptable for and it's probably listening in real time and figuring out if the content violates the terms of use or whatever. Members only chat is an interesting idea. Could hit that sweet spot on bringing in viewers without messing with the social culture. Yeah, I figured, it's also, it's 99 cents to become a member, so, and then, it's pretty low barrier to entry, so if people join and then don't like it, they can leave. If you had a copyright strike yet, can't imagine you did. Random stuff gets flagged. I've been lucky. I have not had any copyright strikes. I've been pretty careful about not having any copyrighted content. I think members only is a good idea. Have private chat so the community can do things together. Like a cult, for instance. Why a cult and why not an empire? Finding a way to empower the culture to perpetuate of chat will create a lot of value as well. Yeah, I think having a real community as opposed to just like randoms and chat would be nice. I get that Discord is a nightmare to moderate, but maybe an async platform would be cool. Like an old-timey V-Bulletin board or something. Yeah, I know. I mean, in an ideal case, I could actually make the game the async platform, and that could be the community place. Because I think that this would be an ideal thing for implementing something like that. The thing is, it needs more work. It needs a lot more networking stuff before it can get to that level. Call should be first with different ranks and everything. That's a lot of work. I got so many things to design and videos to finish and games to write. Is there a Robert Elder software subreddit? Would you want the community to become purely on YouTube? YouTube, Reddit. I don't know. It was like maybe like 4 or 5 years ago or so. Like Reddit just seemed to, in my opinion, kind of go off a cliff or something. Like the culture on Reddit. Like a long time ago, I actually used to get quite a bit of blog traffic from Reddit, and then something changed, and like every time I would post stuff, I would always get people complain about like there's no self-promotion, you're not allowed to post your own links. And then I came to learn there's a lot of like a lot of the subreddits seem to become, there was like because there was like money to be made in like controlling these subreddits. A lot of subreddits got taken over by like there's a small cartel of people who would basically take over the subreddit and then use it purely for their own interest. And then stuff like r/Canada is like 99% of stuff there is submitted from a foreign country. So there's like it just seems like Nowadays I almost wonder, like, is Reddit like 100% AI or something? Like, it just I find more and more of the things people post there, I wonder if it's actually like are these real people with the, like, do people really think the things that they're posting there? It just seems so bizarre. Is it, like, the stuff people say there doesn't really match with humans that I meet in real life? But then again, it could just be Redditors. It's like the stereotypical Redditor personality got amplified. So it's never really seemed like a it seemed like it would make sense years ago, but do you consider accepting collaborators in the game? Probably not. If I did, I would. Well, actually, I was thinking about someone created that the 3D clients to interact with the database, and I was thinking about maybe having like a separate license, like adding a stipulation to the license. So if you want to fork it and then make changes and then make that public, then I would just request like people add like a disclaimer that it's still you're publishing it. It's, you can just basically take your own personal modifications, put them on GitHub. They'd be distributed under the same license, but and maybe just get people to put like a disclaimer that it's untrusted third-party modifications or something. The main thing I'm concerned about is if someone posted something like, and my name is on it, and then it's full of malware or something, and then some kid uses it and they're like, hey, I tried running your code and they stole my bitcoins. And I'll be like, I don't control this repo. Chat community here is cool. Nightly streams are unsustainable. Need to find a transition plan. If you do members only chat, you'll have to stream every day forever or lose the members. We're only there for the stream chat. Yeah, I don't know. I guess if I've done 189 days, then I could maybe, I don't know, maybe I could maintain another 100 or so. We'll see. There's many like options and things to try. It depends. Like if I turned on members only chat, and if it actually brings in more channel members, like if that's enough of a thing to convert people, then, because I'm sure some percentage of those people would become channel members and then just like forget that they're channel members. That's the ideal scenario, because they like, it's only 99 cents, so they forget about it. So if it converts and brings in revenue, then and if it like triggers something in the algorithm. World of Petty Kingdoms on Reddit, yeah. How about putting out a video asking for suggestions? But this problem with nightly streams. Discussion could develop async there with more participants. I guess I could maybe make some community posts about it. That'd be easier. Gotten so bad that Reddit is actively trying to break up the monopoly that its power moderators have over top forums. They're limiting the number of active subreddit users can moderate at once. Yeah, I don't know. Personally, I don't. I do check like r/Canada to see what the news is sometimes, but my Reddit usage has kind of dropped off a cliff, and it's not really a place I go anymore. Gotta save up money for that Deep One report. Yeah, 99 cents at a time. Actually, maybe that's good enough. For both. I will donate 10% of my salary if I ever get a software engineering job. That's a lot. Thank you for the commitment. Even just 99 cents. That's a pretty good pledge. That's like, what would that be? See if you made $1,000 a month. It's 0.01%, or like even less than that. Happy Spooky Eve. Oh yeah, it's almost Halloween. Anyone here? Anyone here in hot dressed for Halloween? Not me. Actually, when I was going to get lunch, I saw someone dressed as a witch with a broom. Call it Devil's Night in Metro Detroit. I never heard it referred to that way. Gonna do a Patreon locked Discord for paid members. People love having private chat with their creators. Yeah, I wouldn't mind. Actually, there's Patreon has a chat feature now, so I guess I could use something. I could just use that. Or actually, I don't know. These platforms keep adding features. I think there might even be one on YouTube as well, because they created I think it's possible for me to enable like a community tab or something where members can post things. Maybe I'll have to look into that more. But yeah, because honestly, I would I wouldn't mind answering a few more questions or things, or even just like I thought for a while I did get a few people. There was a few people had like business ideas and tech ideas and stuff. Or like if people have they're working on some GitHub project, or they're working on their own little game project or something. I wouldn't mind just giving a bit of attention to some of those things, because it would be good content, and that way people would actually get something out of it. Next time I'm playing around in the YouTube settings, I'll probably there's probably some YouTube videos I should watch to find out what features they have, because even that auto ads thing, I didn't even know about that. Okay, I think that knows it has a scroll bar, but it's not just not rendering. I know you can check if someone is YouTube to give them access to Discord. Oh, you can check if someone has a YouTube membership to give them access. I am able to do community posts. I can do like posts that only show up to members. I've actually only done a few of those. Honestly, it feels like I'm not even getting that much stuff published, but it's been a lot of work just to figure out like some kind of interesting daily post, which I've been doing because that actually seems to have a substantial impact on the overall amount of views on the channel. Grandis says hi. How's it going? Why world domination? And how are you raising the money? I guess the why. I mean, why not? The specific plan. I have a link in the video in the description that has the full details of the plan. And how are you raising? So I'm going to try to raise $12 billion in super chats. Once I get to 12 billion, then I can build myself a deep water port, and then the world domination plan will begin. I would love to move to Robert Elder software. Once we have some infrastructure set up. Yep, won't be long. Just need that 12 billion. That's the critical step. You know what? I FW that, and I hope you do a better job than these MFs who already dominate the world. Yep, that's the plan. They're not doing a very good job, so someone has to step up and fix all the problems we got. Where do we get our suits? I guess we gotta design some first, and they gotta look really fashionable. Okay, now I just have to render both scroll bars. What's the tab versus spaces stance? Robot Ultra Software Land. I just go with the default in Vim, which I guess is tabs. Yeah, I don't know. I think it's. Yeah, I'm pretty sure it gives you tabs. I guess you can specify that as an option, I think. Personally, I don't really have a preference. We're going to wear the same suits like Men in Black. That's a good question. I mean, they definitely should be fashionable. That's I think one of the most important things. You got to look good. If you don't look good, it won't make a good impression. People, other countries won't take us seriously. Black suits with orange turtlenecks. That's a good idea. Actually, I got a red turtleneck. I think that one also looks pretty nice. Once you achieve world domination, what will be the main religion? That's a good question. I was thinking it's about time we need some new religions. But then again, that's a lot of work to build a religion. You need to have lore and history. It's got to be a good religion. It can't just be like, it can't be cringe. Anti-Scrum religion. Yeah, I had a boss who was very like anti-meeting when I was at NVIDIA, and he was probably one of the better bosses I had. I think I only interacted with him like 2 or 3 times. He just was like, "Yep, go for it, do your thing," and it was pretty productive that term. Our Messiah fought back against the big landlord who was trying to renovate him. And he fought back with his, and his aim was true until the appeal. Well, the verdict is still not in on that. They still have another 2 weeks to appeal. So there may be, the story may not be completely written. There's already cringe religion. Not quite successful. The Scientology. Oh yeah, that's a good point. That's not correct. Why is there a scroll bar? Church of Emacs. Computer Scientology. You could get a degree in a bachelor in computer Scientology. see if that scroll bar bug was new. Don't think so. Yes, Scientology is very impressive. They have a lot of real estate and assets and stuff. They're doing pretty good for themselves. Okay, that has the bug. And that has the bug. So, oh, interesting. So it wasn't new. In a world where everybody wants to be in coding, they need a guide. They need a guide. You have a community. They need a community to guide them? I guess I have trouble parsing that sentence. Maybe this is all I need. Computer Scientology is an organization called the Machine Intelligence Research Institute. Oh, is there actually a thing called Computer Scientology? Danny06 says, "Yo, hello. How's it going?" They got their butt kicked by OpenAI. Yeah, there's a bunch of startups. Like I know of one particular startup who was doing like some AI related stuff, and then they spent many years on it, and then OpenAI came along. OpenAI came along and just like absolutely eviscerated like an entire class of businesses. Like imagine if you were working on some like special purpose AI thing for, I don't know, graphic design or something, AI assisted graphic design, and you have all these heuristics and stuff, and meanwhile now you have this like super generalized. Man, I've been watching some of the, have you guys been watching the Sora 2 videos the last few days? Like the videos are so good. It's like some of them almost go from they're so good it's amazing to being like hilarious to almost like it's almost like horrifying. It's like I find it almost like emotionally disturbing how realistic and good some of the videos are, but like how absurd the contexts are. Like there's a whole series, and the thing is, there's like I can't even say like go look at that. Have you seen that one video about this, that AI generated video about this? Because there's like thousands of them. Like they're just generated like nothing, and that it's like a very specific, well put together video that would take historically would take an individual so long to make it, but it's not even remarkable now, and it gets like 2 views. What are we doing here? What is this about? This is terminal-based video game development. So I'm working on this terminal-based video game, and I'm currently working on trying to add a list feature. Well, looks like I broke my scroll bar. Yeah, so and that we talk about that in coding, and it's in Java. Been a while since I last popped in. Yeah, I feel like I'm not sure if I've accomplished much since the last time you popped in. I almost feel like I've been spinning my wheels, but I'm getting closer to having this list feature done. It's very impressive, but if you're at the core problem is OpenAI is running out of money. It may be, but the thing is, even if you like drastically scale back the workloads, I think it's really demonstrated its value. Like for some of those videos, those AI generated videos, like right now they're just generated at scale for nothing. But I'm sure for some of those videos, like there's people who would pay $1,000 to generate one AI video and wait like 24 hours. Like the production cost of media is huge. And now it's being generated for like, nothing. So I think like even if they have to, change the cost so it's, everyone has to pay $100 per request or something. Or I guess how much is? Do you guys know how much the Sora 2 charges for those videos? But even in ChatGPT, like even if they massively increase the cost, there's people who will pay that amount of money. Expensive now as they scale up and get cheaper. Hardware will catch up. Yeah, even if they have to restrict it, I think that stuff is here to stay. Exceptions, good or bad? You like exceptions in Java? I throw lots of exceptions. They're a nice way to just kind of like, for me, using exceptions is my alternative to assertions in Java. What is the most money? Make a programming language. I don't know, these days probably like front end. Well, I don't know, front end JavaScript stuff. Some of that, it's hard to say what's going to be bringing in lots of money in the future. I think most developers ended up getting, like most of my peers ended up writing front-end web stuff and application layer stuff. At Amazon, I wrote Java. Yeah, I don't know, hard to say which is the most money making. Can you link us some videos you're impressed with specifically? I'd love to watch them. If you look for the Michael Jackson steals fried chicken video, that one is like, I mean, that's one of the most impressive ones. There's another series of ones about like, if you just search for like, search for Sora grandmother shoes away on deck or something. There's a whole bunch of like, I mean, it's just like ridiculous slop, but they're so like, they look very realistic, where it's like there's a dog that comes up and to the door, and then this old lady opens the door. It's like, oh, look at that cute little dog, and then the dog like explodes and it like destroys the whole deck. Or there's a couple where there's a whole, I've seen like 5 or 10 of them of like a tank driving up to someone's porch, and then this angry grandma comes out and starts like hitting the tank with a cane, and then the tank like backs away in fear and gets out of there. And the same thing with like a fighter jet driving up onto someone's porch, or some woman's porch, and then she hits it with a cane and it drives away. I agree with your analysis. That's $1 billion or tens of billions of dollars. They need trillions. I think there's like, it is here to stay. I mean, you'd have to work out the unit economics on what, like how per video generation, how much does it cost? And I'm sure whatever that number is, they can, there's people out there who will pay that. Right now it's like $4 to generate a few seconds of footage. Takes several seconds to get anything usable. Honestly, that's cheap. I think, I mean, there's people who would probably pay like $100 per second. There's people who would pay like $1,000 per second. Because the other thing is, like, if it becomes rare and difficult, like right now, AI slop is flooding YouTube and stuff. But what if that shuts off? Now, if you have the money to make this AI slop, then you'll get all the views. 10 to 15 cents per second, apparently. That's the cost to the platform to generate. Several tries to get anything usable. Yeah, I guess it's probably similar to like the image generation. I use the image generation a lot on ChatGPT, and it's often I'll have to generate like maybe 10 to 20 images before I get the one I want. I challenge you to use more of the option type in Java. I could. I think I have used it. I used it somewhere for something I made. Java has a ton of cool modern features. Yeah, actually Java has too many modern features. They're trying to make it into like a functional programming language now. Interesting shots. Quite well to use a video of a black guy stealing fried chicken. Oh yeah, I didn't even think about that. But it's just so like the video is just so it's so good and so catchy that it's like shocking just how like it just looks like a real video, and the like the writing and the song lyrics, everything goes together so well. I do like the one with the bear holding grandmother's groceries. I don't think I've seen that one. That's the thing. There's like, there's thousands of these. Like you can say, like for a lot of other videos, you could say, hey, did you see that one video about this or that? And then people say, oh yeah, I know what you mean. But there's literally like infinite permutations of like grandma coming out and, interacting with an animal. For the record, most expensive movie ever made, Star Wars. Rise of Skywalker. Clocks in at 57,000 per second. Yeah, that's why I say, like, given what we have now, like there's people who will pay for that kind of stuff. So I think right now they're just right now they're in like the growth phase. Like they're just throwing they're burning money to generate the marketing on it. Do you really make a CPU from a rock? No, it's pretty hard. It's hard to do it for real, but theoretically you could. Halloween 1987 cost $59 per second. Looks way better. But is that inflation adjusted though? Okay, I broke my scroll bar. The all-in cost, including development and unused footage. Yeah, it's I mean, even so, it's still, I guess, what was it, $4 per second versus 59. The AI thing is here to stay for sure. You make it more expensive, more competitive, but the we can't go back. And it's I mean, it's just it's so good. Like, it's so realistic. Like, I find it with the recent wave of the Sora videos, even after watching like clip after clip, like I know they're all AI, but then after a while I'm like, wait a minute, I keep having to realize that they're AI. But these demos are massively more computer intensive than what's available in production. 10x to 1000x less footage that was generated. Require a lot more human effort. Yeah, I'm not sure. I mean, I guess there's multiple ways to think of it. Like, one is the question of, like, are they possible at all? Like, is it possible for, like, when considering the ramifications, you have to say, what if this is only available to like the military and government, and already that's pretty consequential. But I think a lot of these videos that are being posted that I see are just like random stupid accounts. Like, I think it's I haven't tried. I mean, maybe I should look into it. But the really impressive ones are just made by like random people. Let's just see an AI try to string 20 shorts into a coherent movie, or even a TV ad. I think I mean, at this point, I think it probably can. Like, I could see that being possible, but also like incredibly computer intensive, like where you might have to just generate a bunch of random stuff that doesn't make any sense. And then I think given what we have now as a building block, you could easily just kind of randomly permute together some scenes, and then you could have another process at the end that converts it back into like a script, and then you put it into ChatGPT, and then ask ChatGPT, does this script make sense? Is this consistent? I look for like narrative errors and flaws, and it's way less than what it costs to run. I'm curious, is it known how much it does cost to run? I just have to assume like if it's possible at all, I'm sure it's going to go down a lot in the future. Oh, nice. Thank you very much to James Goodrich for the $10. 10 better watch out. One looks hungry. 1189. That's an interesting variation on the 789 joke. Thank you very much. Gotta sign off. Have a good night. Anthropic spill leaked last week. Yeah, I'm sure it's I'm sure that stuff has got to be like incredibly wasteful. Like after all this AI fad is over, I wouldn't be surprised if we find like absolutely insane amounts of waste, and like, giant, it'll be like huge landfills filled with GPUs and bulldozers pushing around GPUs. After we mass manufactured 1 billion of them and don't need them anymore. Okay, I already did that change up there. Saw coverage of an AI hardware company aiming for efficiency. They were competent, but went into business because power efficiency isn't a concern at present. Yeah, I would imagine there's a lot of potential optimizations that can be done. I mean, I think that's like there's almost certainly like national security level urgency being pushed by the government. That's just like funnel as much money into this as possible and just like build out the entire industry simultaneously, like create excess demand and electricity and make find all the the bugs in our system, in our electricity grid and stuff. Because I guess if China wins the AI war, then it's game over. Didn't verify. Didn't verify. Didn't verify myself, but it was a doctor in Cuttress. Yeah, I'm not sure who that is. All right, that works. Tech Potato. Oh, okay. I'm familiar with that guy's channel. I don't watch all of his videos, but I watched a few of them. All right, let's try to add this scroll bar. No, I guess we want this one. see what that does. Duncan L says, yo, how's it going? It's not quite correct. Going good. What's up with world domination? Let me know progress. I have capital. Excellent. Capital is very good for investment. I guess in the last while there hasn't been too much progress. The funding has slowed down quite a bit. Actually, tonight is the first night I'm testing out. I have monetization turned back on. I think that having monetization off for like 100 plus days of streaming actually maybe is starting to negatively affect the channel and the reach of this and maybe other videos. I turned it off because, number one, the most important reason, it wasn't making any money, but also I didn't want to get in trouble with YouTube on like, you have to pledge that, like, when you turn on monetization, you have to say, I hereby declare it doesn't have all this and that content in it. And I, with the chat in the display, I don't want, because I don't know what people are going to spam in chat. And I don't want to, if in a spoken conversation, it's too hard to self-censor or something like it, to remember all the guidelines. So anyway, that's why I turned it off. But no, I think this is a new feature. They have like ads automator, which I don't know. I guess maybe that listens to the conversation to figure out if it's dynamically figure out if it's ad friendly. Anyway, I turned that back on, so you guys may see some ads, and we'll see if this. I'll check the analytics, see if there's a significant difference in the monetization. The walking stream I did the other night, that one got like twice as many views after the fact. But it was monetized, so I'm thinking that just having the monetization flag maybe changes substantially. We'll see on the metrics after this one is over. All right, let's see if the bottom scroll bar is rendering. What did I do to get this on my feed? Is the NSA watching me? They might be. It depends. But then again, they're watching everyone. I guess, I think you can make a distinction between they vacuum up all the information, but they don't necessarily look at it. So elevator pitch. I'm too tired. Actually, I might call it an end of a stream soon. Gonna have to give those metrics a look. What's my best way to get involved, and why? Give me the elevator pitch for world domination. Is this your first time here? I have a link in the description if you want to know the specific world domination plans. I go into detail. I give that all my plan completely away. And if you want to get on board, you can. If the plan sounds good to you, you can check that out. So the problem with this I guess I should have another parameter here. That's not quite what I wanted. Actually, that's almost good. Is this C#? No, it's Java. Oh, it's not even used. What are we building today? This is a terminal-based video game. And today, the specific thing I'm working on is a general purpose list for displaying various things in the game. So this is just the prototyping phase. Eventually, it'll be used for like a crafting menu. There's some bugs in it currently. Yeah, eventually, so for the inventory area, that's one of the main things I want to add for this. Because there's currently no way to actually scroll through all the items in your inventory. They just get cut off. But this will be used for the crafting list and also the inventory, and then for various other selection items in the game. But with that, I'll probably call it a night. I made a little bit of progress. Let's see, tomorrow I guess we'll fix that scroll bar. So my functions are not generic enough to handle the right and bottom scroll bars. Once that's fixed, I think the other remaining thing is fixing the thing that makes it jump into. So no matter what, if you resize the screen, it should always show the highlighted item. And then I guess another thing I wanted to change was if there's more columns than fit on the screen, it would make sense if it partially shows one of them, so that way it's obvious that there's actually, you can scroll over there. Now once that works, then I will finish the crafting list and then adapt it to work with the items. All right, so I'll pick that up tomorrow. Have a good night.